Coming up on this episode of the Scott Ochoa Show, we visit Ironroot Republic, the distillery in Denison, Texas. With drinks, of course. Salty and sweet. I'm a big
really good.
salty.
Kind of funny, the process that we do, we actually have to make either beer or wine to begin with, and then we actually turn it into liquor from there. So,
Yeah, it does. It looks like that kid that got stuck in the Willy Wonka machine.
Right. Welcome to the Scott Ochoa Show. You know, we're always in a quest for great places to go and see and maybe learn something new. And of course, taste good beverages is great too. We're here at the Ironroot Republic Distillery, and we're going to take a tour. If I can, I'm assuming that I can get in and do this. And maybe we can do a tasting. I'm not really sure, but let's see where we're. Oh, hey.
Looks like Scott's in a little trouble again.
how's it going?
Maybe not.
I'm Scott with the Scott Ochoa Show.
Awesome, bro. What are you doing here?
Man, you kind of scared me there. Well, you know, I was hoping I could come in and maybe see what's going on and
Yeah, for sure, definitely. We'll
maybe
love
get
to take you.
maybe get a drink or two.
I think we might be able to help you out with that one.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go inside and check it out.
right.
Distillery, and that's one question. What's the difference between a brewery and a distillery? I know I can get beer at a brewery, but I just don't understand.
Well, yeah, that's the difference. Breweries brew beer, distilleries make liquor. We distill liquor, actually. So it's kind of funny, the process that we do, we actually have to make either beer or wine to begin with, and then we actually turn it into liquor from there. So we always
Okay.
like to joke with our friends in the brewing industry and the wineries that we're actually the most talented of all the liquor or alcohol makers, because we have to do what they do and then go a little step further. But
Gotcha.
that being said, I would never suggest drinking a distiller's beer because it doesn't taste that great. There's definitely a reason why we turn it into whiskey.
Okay. And it is the equipment that we saw in the front room, is that different than what you would find when at a brewery, or is it?
Very different. So the stills in front you would not see at a brewery. The back part of the room where we have the mash tun and the fermenters are more stuff that you're going to see at a brewery. That being said, their brewing process is much more highly technical than what we do as far as brewing, because they use hops and everything else like that.
Right.
So if you ever venture down to our friends at 903 Brewers, they can show you all about that, and it's really amazing what they do down there.
Very cool. And tell us about these. Is this a specific wood, and what is in here, I guess, most importantly?
So all these barrels back here right now are bourbon. We have one brandy barrel with some orange muscat brandy that we made. But all these guys are bourbon made with North Texas grains. The 90% of the grain that we use actually comes from within 60 miles of the distillery. Now, as far as type of wood, we're a little bit different as far as a distillery. We use a wide variety of woods. We use French, European, and American oak. We're one of the few distilleries in the United States that uses European oak in which to age whiskey. So we have quite a interesting flavor profile that we get from those barrels specifically.
So tell me the different types of liquor that you distill here.
So we make a wide variety. My brother and I are a little ADD, so it's why we have so many different types of stills, and so we can make a lot of different types of spirits. So obviously we have bourbon that we're making right now. We'll have a single malt whiskey that we'll be working on. We have our grape brandies, since Denison is sister cities with Cognac, France, and we actually have a very deep history in the wine industry. We decided why not, what better way to honor our city's heritage than to actually make a spirit using what the city is very well known for. So we are making a cognac style brandy, which is a lot of fun. We also make a clear whiskey it's a corn whiskey called Carpenter's Bluff Moonshine that's available now, as well as the Blue Northern vodka, which is a really, really cool vodka. It's a non-chill filtered vodka, so again, it's going to have a little bit more character to it. We use a vanilla malt as far as a wheat malt with it, and it creates a really, really awesome flavor for the vodka. We also, in about 3 weeks, will be releasing our very first gin. So again,
Wow.
a little bit of everything around here.
Hey, Robert, thanks again for letting us come in and
No
view
problem.
and get a feel for your place. Hey, Robert, you know, I had a couple other questions that I'm sure that people are wanting to know.
Go ahead.
Where are you located? So if I want to if I'm from Denison or Durant, or how do I get here?
We're located right off of Highway 75. If you take exit 67, there's a Fossil Creek liquor store, and we're literally right behind it in the old boat dealership.
Oh.
See, there's a big giant R on the front of the building, so it's kind of hard to miss.
Okay, great. So then, if I get here for a happy hour for one of the tastings, what can I expect? I can expect
You can
what
expect,
type of...
from time to time we have live music, we'll have food, we actually have meat and cheese boards that we get from Fisher's Market out of Munster, Texas, so
cool.
Some locally made products there. We have a wide variety of cocktails that we serve here, and also a great conversation and smiling bartenders.
Wonderful. And what can I expect as far as pricing? When I come here?
So all of our cocktails are $7. The food varies from week to week. Sometimes we have special local caterers will come in, and they'll generally for anywhere between $5 to $10 for a meal.
Well,
Right here.
hey, Robert, you know what? I'm wondering if I had an event, is it possible that you guys would ever host or consider having a group here?
Most definitely. We do that quite often, actually. People love it.
Cool.
The only bad part about that is that we can't serve any other alcohol, so all you can get is the spirits and stuff served here at the bar.
What a shame.
Yeah,
That would be difficult, wouldn't it? And also, I noticed that you sell product here. Some paraphernalia?
We do. We've got T-shirts, hats, glasswares. We actually have official whiskey tasting glasses and all sorts of fun stuff. So we'll just kind of go through the process of distillation really quick. Everything starts out right here in this tank. This is our mash tun. It's a similar piece of equipment that you would see at most breweries. That's what we use to cook the grains.
Mm-hmm.
After we cook the grains, we'll cool it down in this tank and then transfer it over to our fermenter, where it will go through the magic of fermentation and go from an oatmeal type consistency into actually we call distiller's beer. It'll sit in this tank for about 7 days, at which point it'll be 9% alcohol. And we'll depending on what product it is, most of them will go right over here to our biggest still.
Wow.
This is the pride and joy of our distillery. This still was designed by my brother and the folks at Vendome Copper and Brass. The same people make stills for Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, all the major distilleries in there.
So they made this custom for you?
They didn't make it custom for us.
Wow.
And you're not going to find another still that looks like this in the U.S.
Neat.
Or anywhere in the world, actually.
That is very, very cool. So then this is not a facade. This is stuff you actually use.
This is absolutely 100% used. We use it every single week. You can see this little guy right here.
This is Willy Wonka looking stuff right here.
We get that comment quite often.
I imagine.
Oh yeah. So this is our little guy that we do a lot of our test batches and stuff on. Still was originally built in 1986 by the company called Cote. They're a German still manufacturer. And so they're the ones who make this still and our other still over here. This is our specialty vodka still. We use it to make our vodka and the base for our gin.
Yeah, that is something else. And so you're expecting the gin, or no, you've got the gin coming out right now.
It's going to be just a few more weeks and we'll be ready to go. We've got 2 more distillations to do and we'll be ready to rock and roll.
Hey, what kind of a reaction and what kind of interest are you hearing from local?
The local store's been absolutely loving it. I know Fossil Creek next door has been ecstatic when we moved in, and they've been selling the heck out of our products.
I'll bet.
You can find it there, again, most of the stores in the area, as well as in quite a few in Fort Worth, Dallas, Plano, and everywhere in between. There's a few out in Gainesville and everywhere else. So.
Wow, so it's easy enough to find and purchase your product off the shelf.
And if you have any questions about where to find it, usually every week we'll post a map with anytime we have new stores that come online. So generally every Monday or so, every Monday or every other Monday, you'll see a map pop up, show you every place we're available.
So, those big, I still don't know what all those things are called, but they're pretty to look at. Lots of knobs.
Yeah,
Knobs.
that one looks like a flute on steroid. Actually,
I know, right?
I'm thinking, I'm thinking something like out of the Magical Mystery Tour, the Beatles thing, like a yellow submarine. Mm-hmm. This thing looks like it's kind of, I don't know what, kind of Taj Mahal kind of looking thing, isn't it?
With that little bubbly thing in there?
Yeah, it does. It looks like that kid that got stuck in the Willy Wonka machine.
Right, he's like,
Yeah, no kidding.
this is a caramel, I really need to know the names. Okay, I'm going to
Ironroot beer float. I like it.
Okay, so I'm
Dangerously
gonna-
delicious. Carpenter's Bluff Moonshine combines perfectly with childhood flavors of root beer and cream.
This was a salty dog. I'm a big fan of the Greyhound, which doesn't have the salt on the rim, but I'll tell you what, this goes down really easy. I'm digging that vodka. This is to my friend Ed, my buddy who introduced me to Greyhounds. Ed, cheers.
You go, Ed.
Oh man,
Really?
this beverage.
Is that the root beer deal?
This is a salty caramel thing.
Oh.
It does have the blue.
I can't believe
Northern
the
vodka.
stuff that they come out with now. Man, when I was a kid, you got like a 7-7. That was a whatchamacallit drink, a wedding drink. You drink 7-7.
It's I like the coffee.
Wow.
I like the caramel. I like the salty and sweet. I'm
That's
a big
really
salty,
good.
salty sweet.
It's really good.
Yeah, combination of salty sweet. I'll either I cook with salty and sweet a lot, like a sweet and salty salmon. Oh man, it's fabulous. I haven't seen these in very many places, and this one is
That's
really
exceptional.
good. Yeah, this
that,
is
I've
really
never,
good.
I don't have anything to compare it to, but that's killer.
I mean, it's creamy. It's got a little bit of kick to it, but not so much. You're like, man, I can't finish this drink. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. A big thank you to Robert at Ironroot Distillery in Denison, Texas, for allowing us to come in and spending a little time with us to describe and explain exactly how beverages are made, especially tasty ones like vodka. Be sure to like this episode, share it, and subscribe at YouTube. That would be awesome. And be sure to catch all of our previous and future episodes. We come out with at least one per week. As always, we'll see you next time.